How much do you earn?
55 lakhs per annum.
What? 55 lakhs? That's your salary right now?
Yes.
What do you do?
So I'm an AI tool and ChatGPT expert.
Okay, and what degree did you pursue to master this?
Honestly, I did not need any degree for it, nor did I spend like lakhs of rupees on any specific expensive program.
Okay, so what if somebody wants...
For most local islands, there are two options: the local ferries and the speedboat transfers. Let's take Thulusdu for example, and if you take a speedboat transfer for just $25, it's only going to take 30 minutes to get to this local island. However, if you take the local ferry, it's only going to cost you $1.50, but it does take an hour and 45 minutes. As you can see, this is a huge saving, and if you are on a shoestring budget, this is the way to go. Moving on to accommodation, and this is arguably going to be the most expensive cost of your trip. Now on the local islands, you can stay in small hotels, homestays, guest houses, which are super affordable. For example, in Thulusdu, we spent just $38 a private bathroom with a room, which is freaking insane for the Maldives. Now, some local islands are more expensive than the others depending on the demand, but this gives you a rough idea. In Digaro, we actually spent $75 a night as that was the cheapest option. Moving on to food, this can vary quite a bit. If you go to a local restaurant, then you can just eat for a few dollars. I'm talking $3 to $5 for Maldivian food. One of the most common meals you get is actually tuna, whether it's tuna fried rice, tuna steak. It's very affordable as tuna is abundant in the Maldives. If you're looking for more Western food, then this is where the price is going to increase significantly. A lot of accommodation will actually include breakfast in the room rate, so you can actually save money there too. Now, if these tips haven't helped you enough, it's time to go down and hit the subscribe button. It helps me to keep making these videos, keep traveling and sharing you how to travel the Maldives or wherever you're going to go on a budget. Hit subscribe now. Moving on to activities, these were the best things we did in the country. We did a total of 5 different activities, and I would do them all again and do more next time I revisit the Maldives, because this was the best experiences we had. Let's talk about pricing. We did a dolphin cruise which cost just $25 per person. We also did another dolphin cruise the next day which cost $100 for a private boat for about 1.5 hours. Now, one of the most popular things to do is the whale shark tours, as the Maldives is actually one of the best locations on the planet to see whale sharks all year round naturally. There's places in Southeast Asia which feed them and it's not natural, but the Maldives, supernatural. We stayed on a local island, Digaro, which is very close to where the whale sharks live, and this cost us just $70 for a tour. If you stay on other local islands further away, then it's going to cost you over $100, maybe $120, $150 per person. But the great thing here is if you stayed in a resort, even a resort very close to the whale sharks, it's going to cost 4 times, 5 times the price. And I actually did a little bit of research because I wanted to know actually how much they would charge you. It cost $1,000 for a boat, a lot more expensive. Another great tour we did was a stingray and shark snorkeling tour, and this was a chance to swim with sharks, reef sharks, not massive tiger sharks or bull sharks, which was an incredible experience. We also swam with stingrays, which I've seen lots of before I visited the Maldives, and it was an incredible experience. They're really peaceful creatures and they didn't sting me. I thought this trip was probably the best value of any of the trips we did. It cost just $35 for the trip, which lasted about 3 hours long. Now again, I did a little bit of research and thought, how much would this cost in a resort? And for just a stingray snorkeling tour, this is going to cost $200 per person. There's other activities you can do, including snorkeling with turtles, going to sandbars, going on surf trips, so there's different options for you as well. But these activities will be the best things you do, and I would advise spending your money on these rather than a fancy accommodation. The best islands to visit in the Maldives. I'm going to give you 4 islands. They're obviously all local islands, so more affordable. And the first one is Mafushi. We didn't actually go to this island, but this was like the first local island which came about. This place is really good if you want affordable accommodation, affordable food, affordable tours. It is quite a built-up island. So if you're looking for more privacy or more nice beaches, then you're either going to have to take boat tours, or it's best to go to a quieter island, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Now, the second island I highly recommend visiting is Thulusdu, and this is actually a surf island. So if you're into surfing, this is the island to come to. Again, it is a more affordable island, and you can do loads of affordable boat trips costing just $25, $35 per person. The beach is beautiful, there's lovely cafes to eat at, and there's also a sunset sandbar you can visit on the other side of the island. Now, Fluiddu is a more smaller local island which we didn't visit, but it's supposed to be incredible. It's really famous for its beaches and its house reef where you can see turtles and stingrays. And if you want a bit of a quieter experience, then this island may be for you. And the last island I'm going to share with you is Digara. Digara was our favourite island we visited, and it has a humongous long sandbar, one of the longest sandbars in the Maldives. And also it is very close to the whale sharks. So if you want to do those affordable whale shark tours, which cost just $70 per person, then this is the place to stay. The only downside to staying on this island is accommodation is gonna be more expensive. Again, here the food in the restaurants was a little bit more expensive, but you are paying for beautiful long white beaches, which you can actually get more privacy than smaller local islands, which can be very busy. Another important thing to mention is the wet and dry season and which season you should travel to. The dry season is between December and April. This is the driest time of the year and the most popular time people visit the Maldives, so there's a lot more people. And so all the prices for accommodation are gonna be more expensive. However, in the wet season, which is from mid-May to November, this is the time where less tourists visit and the prices of accommodation is gonna be less. Obviously in the wet season there will be rain, but it's not usually all day and you can still get a lot of sunny spells and you're gonna save a lot of money. This is just something to take into account and weigh out which season you should go in. Now, I hate to tell you guys, but I've got to be honest that there are negatives to staying on the local island. And the first one is, if you like to drink, this is not possible. So the Maldives is a Muslim country and it's actually under Sharia law, which means there's no alcohol allowed. The only way you can actually drink alcohol is if you take a boat out to a party or booze boat, which is moored off the island, and you can actually drink there. The other thing you can do is actually a private resort day stay, where you can stay on a private resort just for the day and you can drink all the alcohol you can. But again, it's going to be expensive. As it's a Muslim country, you need to be really careful with what you wear. And bikini beaches are the specific beaches in which you can wear your swimwear, your bikinis, your trunks. You can't walk around with your top off all over the island. You have to only stick to the bikini beaches. The public beaches or the local beaches is where you need to cover up, even if you go in the sea. There are signs all over the island, so it should be quite clear and you won't get mixed up. This is why the island of Digara was really nice for us, because there was a bigger bikini beach and it allowed more room on the beach for everyone. It's really important to follow these rules because there are locals who have lived on these islands for probably hundreds of years, and suddenly having half-naked tourists is probably not what they want all over their island. Now, one of the frustrating things about local islands is that a lot of them only take cash. Some do take card, but smaller restaurants which are cheaper usually only take cash. This can be more difficult as ATMs are found on a lot of local islands, but not all of them. The best thing to do is take out your cash when you're in Male. Now we need to talk a little bit about the negatives of the whale sharks. As you can see, there are so many people who do the whale shark snorkeling, and people from all over the Maldives come to this specific point to see the whale sharks, as it's the most common area to see them. And so with all the people, you do often get kicked in the face, and it is quite a stressful situation. And you could say it is not super ethical. Now, one of the confusing things, and I didn't like, is that most things are quoted in USD. And usually you can use both currencies, but you can't get USD out of the ATM. You can only get Maldivian rupiah. I often found when you use Maldivian rupiah and it was quoted, say 30 USD, they would rip you off with the conversion fees. And even when I argued it, they were like, nah, that's the rate. The other thing is, if you've got Maldivian rupiah left over, you need to get rid of it in the airport because you can't convert Maldivian rupiah out of the country. It's virtually impossible. To save you from all this stress, what I will do next time is bring USD to the Maldives, and it's just going to make everything so much easier. You can use USD practically anywhere. Another thing, if you're staying in Male, it is not the best city in the world, let's be honest. It is super busy, and the best thing is to get straight to the islands. And if you have an early flight or a late flight, then you're probably gonna have to stay there a night or two. How much